Hello, everyone! Welcome back to Speak English Daily Story Channel, where conversations sound natural, simple, and real.
Today's story is called The Choice That Changes Everything.
Good morning.
Good morning. You look quiet today.
Yes, I didn't sleep well last night.
Why? Too much coffee?
No, too many thoughts.
What kind of thoughts?
Life thoughts.
Those are the heaviest ones.
Yes, especially about work.
Job stress again.
Not exactly stress.
More like confusion?
Confusion about what?
About my future.
That sounds serious.
It is.
Do you ever feel stuck?
Sometimes. Like you're moving but not going anywhere.
Yes, many times.
That's exactly how I feel. Because of your job?
Yes.
What happened? Nothing happened. And that's the problem.
Nothing changing?
Exactly. Same routine, same tasks, same salary.
Same tired feeling every Monday. That sounds exhausting.
It is not physically exhausting. It is mentally exhausting.
My job is safe. Safe is good.
Yes, safe is good. But safe can also feel like a cage.
That's deep. I wake up, I go to work,
I do the same tasks. I come home. I sleep.
and repeat. Like a machine?
Exactly like a machine. No excitement, no growth, no energy.
Do you know what scares me?
What? I am afraid one day I will wake up and realize my life never changed.
That is a scary thought. Yes.
Sometimes I imagine having my own business.
Really? Yes. I imagine freedom. I imagine creativity.
I imagine building something mine.
That sounds exciting. It does. But what?
It also sounds terrifying.
A job feels safe. Business feels risky.
That's true. A job gives fixed money.
Business gives uncertain money.
Yes. A job gives a schedule.
Business gives responsibility.
Yes.
A job gives instructions.
Business gives decisions. That's the biggest difference.
Exactly. And decisions are scary.
What if I fail? Everyone fears that. What if I lose money?
That's possible.
What if people laugh at me?
That hurts.
What if I regret leaving my job? That's the biggest fear.
Yes. Fear stops more dreams than failure ever does. My friend once told me something. What did he say? He said, "Comfort can slowly destroy ambition." That is powerful. Yes, because comfort feels good, but it keeps you in the same place, like a soft prison. Exactly. You don't suffer enough to change, and you don't grow enough to feel alive. People always say, get a stable job. Yes, especially parents. They say, business is risky. Don't gamble your future. Play safe. That is common advice. Yes, but safe advice does not always create happy lives. I see older colleagues. What about them? They are tired. They complain every day, but they never change. Why not? Because they say it's too late. That is sad. Yes, I don't want to become like that. Maybe the real question is not job or business. Then what is the real question? The real question is, what kind of life do I want? That is a much deeper question. Yes, because work is not just about money. It is about identity, energy, purpose, and growth. A mentor told me something interesting. What did he say? He said, you don't need to quit your job to start your dream. That sounds wise. He said, start small, learn slowly, build quietly. That reduces fear. Yes, because you are not jumping into darkness. You are walking step by step. I realized something. What? Success is not fast. It is patient. Very true. People see results, but they don't see the long journey. Late nights, failures, doubts, learning, trying again. The biggest change is not money. Then what is it? Mindset. Explain. Employees ask, "What should I do today?" Owners ask, "What problem should I solve today?" That's a big difference. Employees follow instructions. Owners create solutions. In a job, mistakes can be shared. Yes, in business, mistakes are personal. That is heavy pressure. Yes, but pressure also creates strength. Many people think business gives free time. Does it? Not in the beginning. It gives less free time, more stress, more responsibility. But what? It also gives meaning and ownership. Sometimes I ask myself, do I want comfort or do I want growth? That is a hard question, because comfort feels good now, but growth feels good later. One day I made a decision. What decision? I decided to stop complaining. That's a strong step. Yes, instead of complaining, I started learning, reading business books, watching tutorials, learning skills. I didn't quit my job. That was smart. I started working after office hours, just 1 hour daily, learning, planning, building ideas. That sounds realistic. Yes, small steps are less scary. Slowly, my fear reduced. Why? Because knowledge reduces fear, action reduces doubt, progress increases confidence. Now I understand something important. What? You don't need to choose job or business immediately. You need to choose growth or stagnation, learning or complaining, action or fear. This is not the end. This is only the beginning, because the real journey starts when you take the first step.
Welcome back. In part 1, we saw how confusion started.
Today, we see what happens when someone finally takes action.
One night, I sat alone in my room. Why were you sitting in darkness?
Because I was thinking deeply. About your future again?
Yes, I realized something important. Talking does not change life. Thinking does not change life. Only action changes life.
That is a powerful realization.
Yes, and that night, I made a quiet decision. I took a notebook.
What did you write?
I wrote one simple question. What can I start with 0 money?
That is a smart question.
Because I had no savings, I had no experience, I had no business knowledge, but I had one thing. What? Time after work.
I thought about my skills. What skills did you have? I was good at communication. I was good at explaining things. And I liked helping people learn. That sounds useful. Yes, so I decided to start something small. An online English learning page.
I created a simple social media page. Were you excited?
I was excited and terrified. Why terrified?
Because I knew now people could judge me.
Before posting my first content, my hands were shaking. That much fear?
Yes, I kept thinking, what if people laugh? What if nobody watches? What if I fail publicly?
My mind was very loud. It said, "You are not an expert. You will embarrass yourself. You should stay safe." That sounds like self-doubt.
Yes, self-doubt is the biggest enemy of beginners.
Finally, I pressed the post button. How did you feel?
My heart was beating fast. I kept refreshing my phone, waiting, watching, hoping.
1 hour passed. No likes, no comments, no views. That must have hurt. It hurt more than I expected, because silence feels like rejection. That night, I felt very sad. Did you think of quitting?
Yes. I thought, maybe I am not good enough. Maybe business is not for me.
Then I remembered my mentor's words. What did he say? He said, "Your first attempt will not bring success, it will bring feedback." So I asked myself, why did no one watch? What did you discover? My content was boring. My voice was nervous. My message was unclear. Instead of quitting, I decided to improve. I watched successful creators. I studied how they speak. I learned how they teach. After 1 week, I posted again. Were you still scared? Yes, but less scared, because action builds courage. This time, something different happened. One person liked my post. Only one? Yes, but that one like felt like a huge victory. That single like changed everything, because it proved something. What did it prove? Someone found value in my work. Someone cared. Someone listened. That one like gave me energy. I realized progress starts small. Success starts quietly. Confidence starts slowly. Days passed. Weeks passed. I kept posting regularly. Did growth come quickly? No, growth was very slow, painfully slow. Many days I wanted to quit. Why? Because progress was invisible. No big results, no income, no recognition. The biggest struggle was not business, it was mindset. Every day I had to fight thoughts like, "This is useless, you are wasting time, go back to normal life."
But I made one promise to myself. What promise?
No quitting for 1 year. No matter what happens, no matter how slow progress is.
Something interesting happened. Even without success, I was changing. How?
I became more confident, more disciplined, more patient.
I realized something powerful. I was no longer just an employee.
I was becoming a creator, a learner, a builder.
Then, one day, I received my first negative comment. What did it say?
This content is useless. You don't know how to teach.
That comment hurt deeply. Did you cry?
Yes, because criticism feels personal, especially in the beginning.
I had two options, quit or learn. What did you choose?
I chose to learn.
Instead of feeling angry, I analyzed the criticism.
And I discovered something important. Some parts of my content really needed improvement.
After months of effort, something unexpected happened. One of my videos went viral. Really?
Yes, thousands of views, hundreds of comments, huge growth.
I could not believe it. I kept checking my phone again and again.
That day, I understood something. Success is not sudden. It is the result of consistent effort.
Now, I was no longer afraid because I knew one truth. Failure is temporary. Growth is permanent.
This was the beginning, but the journey was far from over.
Because success brings new challenges, new pressures, new fears. Welcome back. In part 2, we saw the first struggles.
Today, we see what happens when effort finally starts bringing results.
One morning, I woke up earlier than usual
Why so early?
because my phone kept vibrating. Notifications, messages, comments.
I opened my phone, and I froze. Why?
Because my video had reached 100,000 views.
That must have felt unbelievable. It felt like a dream. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing.
I smiled. Then I laughed. Then I almost cried.
Why did you feel like crying?
Because months of hard work were finally being seen.
People started messaging me. They said, "Your videos helped me learn English. Thank you for explaining so simply.
You changed my confidence.
That moment felt different. Different from what?
Different from salary happiness. This was deeper. This was meaningful.
A few days later, something unexpected happened. What happened?
I received my first payment online. From your content?
Yes, just a small amount, but it felt huge.
I realized something powerful. Money can come from value, not just from working hours.
But then a new problem started. What problem?
Time. I had a job, and now I had a growing business. Both needed energy.
I started sleeping late, working day and night, office work during the day, business work at night.
Slowly, I became very tired, physically, mentally, emotionally.
At work, I looked normal, but inside, I was exhausted.
I started thinking again. Is this worth it? Am I destroying my health? Can I continue like this?
Then family pressure started. What did they say?
They said, "You look tired. Why are you wasting time online? Focus on your stable job."
Their words created confusion because they cared, but they didn't understand my dream.
I faced the hardest question. Should I quit my job or continue both?
Quitting felt terrifying because a job gives security, regular income, predictable life.
But business income was still unstable. Some months were good, some months were zero.
So I met my mentor. What did you ask him? I asked, when should I quit my job?
He smiled and said, "Never quit emotionally. Quit strategically."
I asked, what does that mean?
I realized something important. Quitting is not bravery. Smart timing is bravery.
After that conversation, my fear reduced. I stopped rushing. I focused on steady growth.
Months passed. My audience grew. My confidence grew. My skills improved.
I was no longer confused. I knew who I was becoming. Not just an employee, but an entrepreneur in progress.
Then one day, something happened at my job. What happened? My boss shouted at me unfairly.
I felt angry. I felt disrespected. I felt trapped.
That night, I thought deeply again, not emotionally, but logically.
I calculated my savings, my business income, my risks, my responsibilities.
And finally, I made the biggest decision of my life, but that decision changed everything.
The journey is getting more intense because success brings new tests and freedom demands courage.
Welcome back. In part 3, we saw the biggest decision forming.
Today, we see what happens when a person finally jumps into uncertainty.
It was a normal morning. The sun was shining. The city was awake.
But inside me, there was a storm. Why a storm?
Because I knew today I would make the biggest decision of my life.
I walked into my office. Everything looked the same. Same desks, same people.
Same routine, but I felt different. Very different.
My mind was full of questions. What if I fail? What if I regret this? What if I lose everything?
But another voice spoke louder. What if you succeed? What if you grow? What if this changes your life forever?
I sat at my desk, opened my computer, and started typing. What were you typing?
My resignation letter. Each word felt heavy. Each sentence felt emotional.
When I finished writing, my hands were shaking. My eyes became wet.
Because I was not just quitting a job, I was leaving a comfort zone.
I walked to my boss's office. Were you scared?
Yes, very scared. I knocked on the door. He said, "Come in."
I handed him the letter. He looked surprised. He asked, "Are you sure? Why would you leave a stable job?"
I replied calmly, "I want to build something of my own. I want to grow beyond routine. I want to try."
He looked at me quietly. Then he smiled and said something I will never forget.
He said, "Not everyone has the courage to try. Even if you fail, you will gain something priceless: experience."
When I left his office, I felt two emotions together: fear and freedom.
That evening, I told my family. How did they react? They were shocked, very shocked.
They said, "Why would you leave a secure job? Business is uncertain. What about your future?"
I tried to explain calmly. I said, "I am not quitting life. I am choosing growth. I am choosing to try."
There was silence in the room because they loved me and they were afraid for me.
The next morning, I woke up without a job. How did that feel? Strange, very strange. For the first time in years, I had no office to go to.
Freedom felt good, but fear returned quickly because now everything depended on me.
Business income was unstable. Some days had sales, some days had nothing.
I started calculating expenses: rent, food, bills. Every coin mattered.
Slowly, stress started growing because uncertainty is mentally exhausting.
One night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, did I make the biggest mistake of my life?
Two voices were fighting inside me. Fear said, "Go back to a job." Courage said, "Keep moving forward."
I realized something. Dreams are beautiful, but the journey is painful, very painful.
That night, I made another decision. I decided, no matter what happens, I will not quit.
I created a daily routine: learning, creating content, improving skills, talking to customers.
Growth started slowly, very slowly, but it was moving, step by step.
I noticed something amazing. I was becoming stronger, more confident, more disciplined.
I realized the biggest truth. Success is not just money, it is personal transformation.
Even with financial stress, I felt something new: peace, because I was living according to my values.
I knew the road ahead was long, but I also knew one thing: I would never return to the comfort trap again.
The hardest step is not starting, it is continuing when things get difficult.